Did you have any problem with sunburn? Because I've seen lots of photographs of stark naked people working in the fields in the middle of summer, and you're quite pale-skinned lot. What did you do to combat that?
There wasn't really much of a problem with sunburn because we were outside all the time. So we'd have been exposed to the sun gradually over the year. And we didn't really have any particular problems. I mean, occasionally people would feel a little bit burnt, and then you can just rub a bit of clay on you and cover it over.
Right.
You know, if it felt unpleasant, you just rubbed a bit of clay on. But really, I think we just naturally browned because we were out in the light for the whole time. It's not as though we were wearing clothes and suddenly exposing ourselves on a sunbed. It was, we weren't in that environment. So I don't remember it being much of a problem at all, to be perfectly honest.
That being the case, I'd expect you all to be nut to brown by early September.
Well, we were probably reasonably brown.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So on a hot day, there you are, cutting away with these sickle-like things, because you didn't have the long later medieval scythe.
No scythe, no.
They haven't been found for the period, and yet seeing the pictures of you kneeling awkwardly on, and wheat stubble is very uncomfortable, sharp stuff. So there you are kneeling in a field, hacking awkwardly. I was watching that and thinking, we must have misinterpreted how those tools were used, or how they were designed, or what they were for even.
Well, cutting the hay was the hardest work I think I've ever done.
Right.
That was really hard. That was back-breaking. The hay was quite a long way from the encampment, so we had to carry it back every night. We got blisters all over our hands trying to, constantly working the stuff. It was just completely exhausting. But the things were, bad backs, bad knees for kneeling down, sore arms, and blisters everywhere. So we weren't, our bodies weren't too adapted to that.
Okay, well, you were toughened a bit with calluses and so forth, but about the tools, did you not think, hang on, this isn't the tool for this job, I want something that's
It would have been better if it had
different.
If it had an angle on it, because you were trying to scythe down close to the ground. So it was an unnatural angle. So that's why we had back problems and wrist problems. Because yes, a tool that was a slightly different shape would have been better, more towards the side. But they didn't exist, and we probably couldn't have made one because it would have taken too much metal.
Now you did make reconstructions of Iron Age things. Someone made a lyre. You made a recorder. I don't know if that was based on the exact find.
It wasn't based on anything.
Okay.
Just an attempt to make some music.
Right, and someone else made a hairnet and so forth that was based on a Danish bog find. Now, presumably that wasn't from memory, so you had some access to reference material for those sort of things?
Not particularly reference material, but some of the techniques for making things like sprang and so on, different ways of making something out of the basic materials we had. So we knew some of the techniques. A lot of these things occur quite naturally when you've got to try and create something.
Right.
The other thing that was very difficult was making anything that was an interesting colour. So dyeing, we spent a lot of time dyeing and trying to get any colour that was interesting, but all you could really get was a sort of slightly reddy, browny and slightly yellowy from various naturally occurring dyes like St John's wort. The flowers of that gives a slight yellowy colour, but we found we couldn't make bright reds, we couldn't make blues or anything like that. So colour-wise, it was quite a sort of browny grey world. Right.
Yes, and so the Iron Age was largely brown, what with the wood and the mud.
It was it was brown and green in the summer. But yes, the colours that we're used to today, the bright colours, none of those.
Oh. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed for coming in. It's been a delight interviewing you.
Very interesting meeting you.
Lindybeige!